And we have a right as fans, as individuals, to voice opinions differing or not that should not be classified as racist and misogynistic and phobic of any form because they don't agree with your worldview. You're full of absolute shit, and I do not take you seriously. Hello, all. This is Mr. Q from The Enablist. Last night, I was going through my general streams that I watch on Friday nights. Would be Friday Night Frolics with Doomcock, and Friday Night Tights with Nerdrotic and Geeks and Gamers, and Az from Hillsworth's Babyface, Ryan Kinnell. Um, and they were talking about being canceled for some reason. I've been out of the loop a little bit with some of the ongoing news and going on in pop culture, uh, other than just the top level stuff. And they were talking about an article that came out that was pretty much smashing the YouTubers. Particularly, top of the list was Quartering, uh, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, uh, Doomcock, a lot. Oh, Ryan Cannell. They all got a little bit of airtime in this article discussing how they were alt right trolls and how they ruined Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, by their misogyny and their white supremacy and their hatred, which is complete and utter bullshit. If anybody had ever spent any kind of time listening to the streams, listening to the videos from each one of these creators, they would find out very, very quickly that they are not alt right. In some cases, many of them are not. You can listen to Clownfish TV, and uh, they are definitely not alt right. They are definitely, I think, libertarian and independent, I believe was how Neon and Geeky Sparkles considered their political leanings, which honestly should have no bearing anything on what they're talking about. But apparently, they get a lot of trolling because of it. Nerdrotic, he hasn't been openly talking about his particular politics. He doesn't think it's a something that's a huge factor in his commentary on pop culture and Star Wars and Star Trek, um, which is true. It shouldn't be a factor. What's important is the news and the opinions. And Jeremy is definitely conservative. He is conservative, but he runs a very diverse crew over at Geeks and Gamers, um, that have a lot of diversity. I was watching a video from them this morning, and I did not realize how extensive Geeks and Gamers is as far as everybody that they're willing to take everybody. They all they want you to do is love what you love and be real. And almost all the people on his panel this morning in that video, their politics did not agree with Jeremy's. One of them even said they love The Last Jedi. You know what Jeremy said? I think you're wrong, but ultimately it doesn't matter because they had a forum to talk about. They differing opinions is what helps us grow as nerds, as fandom. If everybody agreed with each other, you have woke culture. You have an echo chamber. Differences of opinion are growth because it allows you to see things from a different perspective, things that you wouldn't analyze or have seen before. And different people have different life experiences than yours. And dismissing them out of hand as alt right or liberal and smacking that label on them automatically makes them, I guess, depending on your political view, not worth listening to, which is utter and complete bullshit. I have uh, a liberal friend, and he and I argue a lot when it comes to politics and certain things, but he is one of my best friends, and he's been there for me when I've needed him, and I respect the friendship I have with him way more than political leanings or differences of opinion. That's what being an adult is. It's not this tit for tat nonsense and political bullshit and labeling everybody based on one thing and using that to dismiss them as a human being. That's bullshit. I can't stress that enough. And I hate it when I see it because it's so petty. It's so petty and it just drags us down as a civilization to ignore things that we don't, or call people names so that we can diminish them as somebody worth listening to. That's the entirety of this article. The entirety of this article is about calling people alt right and misogynist, and I mean, every single woke buzzword that's floating out there right now is there. And plus, it's very dated. If you actually read through the article and look at some of the dates and uh, some of the subscriber counts on some of the videos that they, or clips of the videos that they show, they're very outdated. 2 years, 3 years. And this is something that the whole article is just dated. This has no bearing, or very little bearing on today's world, and it's a hit piece. It really is. It's legitimately a hit piece. They're not trying to bring attention to things. They're trying to bring people's ire against things. And it's confirmed, and they use all these different clips and articles and stuff to confirm their bias. And if you actually go through, a lot of their so-called sources are very biased articles, very biased media, and this is biased in their direction. Some of it was Vulture, some of it was BuzzFeed. All of these websites have a bias. It's very obvious. It's very, very obvious. It's hard to not see it. So I can't take your sources legitimately if the people that you're sourcing already agree with you or or are already lean on your side. That doesn't give me, that's not a, that's confirmation bias. That has nothing to do with actually being truthful or factual, because a lot of them, some of them were opinion pieces, some of them were uh well, a lot of articles in media's opinion. It's very little, it's very little fact. So even of that self, it just doesn't make, it doesn't work. And if you go through the article, there's a bunch of see, there you go, right there. First thing that they put out in their hate. Hate is a strong word. People use it all too frequently for emotions that don't last, that aren't the same as what that word intends to be. Hate is akin to loathing. You cannot see somebody, you cannot stand somebody. Anger bubbles up in your heart whenever you see them. Okay, we hate certain things, but we have factual reasons for why we hate them. But as far as when it comes to hating people, hate is a very strong word. And I will say it right now because I hate it because this article disgusts me and I hate looking at it because it is so full of woke bullshit, so full of inaccuracy, so full of twisted twisted facts and twisted ideas, all under the label of oh, this was such a big article. We spent months and years pulling all these tweets and all this stuff together to make it happen, and it's all to prove their point. It's not factual. They have used certain things to support their point, which most articles generally would, but they do it. They don't have any other point of view other than their own on here. It's all negative. It's all everybody confirming they're alt right. These people are alt right. They're misogynist. They're racist. They're transphobic. So I I don't take this seriously. I take it as stupid libel trash, and it's garbage. It's really garbage. If you think you want to read through this whole article, I'm gonna tell you right now. You go and you watch a Friday night type stream with the majority of the people who were on that YouTube list. They make fun of themselves. They state they don't like things, but they state the reason behind they don't like things. They have never sent a mob to go attack somebody. They have never done that. They never even encouraged the downvoting of the Star Wars videos. Okay? The fans did that all on their own. They didn't say go downvote videos. They told them they voiced their opinion. The fans did it. Okay? And we have a right as fans, as individuals, to voice opinions differing or not that should not be classified as racist and misogynistic and phobic of any form because they don't agree with your worldview. You're full of absolute shit, and I do not take you seriously. And I will never take you seriously if you start calling me names for me disagreeing with you on something. Because I am not misogynist. I'm not racist. I treat everybody the same way. All right? It's only when they start treating me like a dick or like an asshole, okay, you know what? You're a dick or an asshole. It's not because of the color of your skin. It's not because what's between your legs. It's not your sexual preference. Okay? Has nothing to do with why I like or dislike you. It's your actions, your words, what how you interact with the world that define or interact with me that defines how I perceive you. Okay? So I don't like being labeled like this because it is not who I am. And it is the height of insult. And it is a degradation of your own viewpoint that the only way that you can get it past is by turning buzzwords and making your disagreeers out to be these awful, hateful people when you haven't even bothered to get to know them. I this article's just got me pissed. All right, it doesn't because it's more than just the people who are in it. They're classifying anybody who disagrees with them and putting them under this banner. And this is how they want people to see you. And there are things that they have brought up in this article that are just wrong. Okay? But I ultimately suggest you go read this article if you want to know more about why this why the media and the woke culture are so anxious to hate us, because their facts do not support their fiction. So their only way to do it is to back it up with more opinion pieces and fiction and bias. Okay? Just read it yourself. Make your own decision. But I'm going to tell you right now, my opinion, this is utter garbage and a waste of the server space that they use to upload it to. If you like the vid, like it, subscribe. I'm always willing to listen to your point of view in the comments. If you don't like what I said, that is perfectly fine. The only thing that I request is that if you say you hate it, at least give me a reason. Saying you disagree with me is perfectly fine. I welcome it, because then it allows me to see your point of view and maybe gives me a chance to see what maybe there's something I need to change or something I need to look at myself. That's how you grow. If you enable me to grow by seeing your point of view a little differently, then we've all won here. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next vid.